Emma Charlotte Duer Watson was born on April 15, 1990, in Paris, France, to Jacqueline and Chris Watson. Her early years were steeped in literature, imagination, and curiosity. When Emma was 5, her parents divorced, and she moved with her mother and younger brother, Alex, to Oxfordshire, England. Despite the upheaval, Emma's love for learning never waned. She spent hours reading books, memorizing passages, and immersing herself in stories that transported her far beyond her small town. From a young age, she exhibited a rare combination of intelligence, poise, and a quiet determination that set her apart from her peers. Her interest in acting began almost serendipitously. At the age of 6, Emma started performing in local plays and school productions, delighting audiences with her natural talent. Teachers noticed her ability to command attention with subtle expressions and the perfect timing of her dialogue. By the time she reached her preteen years, Emma had decided that acting was more than a hobby, it was a calling. In 1999, at the age of 9, Emma Watson's life changed forever. She auditioned for the role of Hermione Granger in the film adaptation of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Hundreds of girls across the United Kingdom competed for the part, but Emma's intelligence, dedication, and ability to embody Hermione's curious and determined spirit set her apart. She was offered the role, and thus began a journey that would transform her life and place her firmly in the public eye. Filming the first Harry Potter movie was an eye-opening experience for Emma. She traveled to studios, worked long hours, and balanced her schoolwork with the demands of a major motion picture. From the very first day, it was clear that Emma had a rare maturity beyond her years. She quickly developed close relationships with her co-stars Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert Grint, who would become her lifelong friends. Despite her success, Emma's parents instilled in her a sense of humility and groundedness. They ensured that she remained connected to her education and ordinary life. She attended the Dragon School in Oxford and later Headington School, balancing rigorous academic demands with the increasingly high-profile life of a film star. Emma's childhood was extraordinary, yet she never lost the curiosity and intellect that defined her early years. As the Harry Potter series continued, Emma Watson's fame grew exponentially. She faced the challenges of adolescence in the public eye, managing media attention, interviews, and fan adoration, all while staying focused on her studies. She often reflected on the pressure of growing up in front of millions of people and the responsibility that came with being a role model. Even as a young girl, she was determined to use her platform wisely and to remain true to herself. By the time she filmed the later Harry Potter movies, Emma had become not only a talented actress but also a confident, thoughtful young woman with a growing awareness of global issues. Her experiences on set taught her discipline, empathy, and leadership qualities that would later define her activism. Even in the whirlwind of fame, she maintained a strong sense of self, always returning to her love of books, learning, and intellectual exploration. Emma Watson's early life and rise to fame were more than just the story of a child actor. They were the foundation of a remarkable journey that would see her transform from a young girl with a passion for learning into one of the most influential voices in a generation. The world knew Hermione Granger, but few yet understood the depth, intellect, and courage of the girl who played her, a girl destined to make a mark far beyond the screen. As the Harry Potter film series progressed, Emma Watson transformed from a talented child actress into a young woman navigating the complexities of adolescence under the constant gaze of the world. Between 2001 and 2011, she filmed all 8 Harry Potter movies, portraying Hermione Granger with a maturity and depth that far exceeded her years. The role required her to perform emotionally challenging scenes, from facing dark magic and life-threatening danger to expressing subtle shifts in relationships and loyalty. While Hermione's bravery and intelligence became iconic on screen, Emma's off-screen life was equally remarkable. Balancing schoolwork with a demanding acting schedule was no easy task. Emma attended the Dragon School in Oxford and later Headington School, where she faced the usual pressures of exams and teenage life, social dynamics, friendships, and self-discovery, all while traveling around the world for filming. Despite her hectic schedule, she maintained strong academic performance, particularly excelling in subjects that fueled her curiosity: literature, history, and the arts. Teachers praised her discipline, noting that she approached learning with the same determination she brought to acting. Fame, however, brought both opportunities and challenges. By her early teens, Emma Watson's image was globally recognized. She appeared on magazine covers, participated in interviews, and attended red carpet events, often surrounded by intense media scrutiny. The public and paparazzi took a keen interest in her every move, scrutinizing her appearance, choices, and behavior. Emma faced the difficult task of maintaining her identity and personal privacy amid the pressures of celebrity culture. She openly acknowledged that growing up in the spotlight could be intimidating and sometimes isolating, yet she remained steadfast in her values and pursued her education and personal growth with resolve. During her teenage years, Emma began to take control of her public image and use her influence responsibly. She sought to balance the commercial demands of being a global film star with opportunities to learn, explore, and develop her voice. Emma made careful decisions about endorsements, interviews, and public appearances, often emphasizing authenticity and purpose over fleeting fame. She learned to navigate the intricate dynamics of the entertainment industry, observing the responsibilities that came with being a role model for millions of young people worldwide. Outside of her professional life, Emma was deeply committed to her studies. In 2009, she enrolled at Brown University in the United States, and later transferred to Worcester College at the University of Oxford, studying English literature. Her dedication to education exemplified her belief in intellectual growth and personal development. Emma often spoke about how the rigors of acting did not replace her desire for learning; rather, they complemented her curiosity about the world and the stories that shape human experience. As Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Emma faced the dual challenge of portraying Hermione authentically while staying grounded in her personal identity. She cultivated strong friendships with co-stars Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert Grint, who shared similar experiences growing up in the spotlight. Their camaraderie provided emotional support amid the pressures of fame, helping them navigate the highs and lows of adolescence while filming. Emma's relationships both on and off screen nurtured her sense of community, empathy, and loyalty, qualities that would later underpin her activism. By the time the final Harry Potter film was released in 2011, Emma Watson had evolved from a precocious child actress into a poised, articulate young woman with a profound sense of purpose. She had experienced extraordinary fame, intensive work, and personal growth simultaneously, learning invaluable lessons about resilience, self-discipline, and integrity. These formative years prepared her for the next chapter of her life, using her platform to advocate for social change, education, and gender equality, transforming her influence from cinematic success into global activism. Emma's teenage years and education were a masterclass in balance, juggling the extraordinary demands of international stardom with a commitment to personal growth and intellectual curiosity. Hermione Granger was celebrated as a fictional heroine. Emma Watson was becoming a real-life role model, embodying courage, intelligence, and the determination to make a meaningful impact beyond the silver screen. After the conclusion of the Harry Potter series in 2011, Emma Watson faced a pivotal moment in her life. The global recognition and influence she had amassed as Hermione Granger provided her with an unparalleled platform, and she realized she could leverage this visibility to address issues far beyond the entertainment industry. While many former child stars struggled with the transition into adulthood, Emma approached this new chapter with focus, intelligence, and purpose. Her goal was no longer just personal success, it was to make a meaningful impact on the world. One of the most defining moments of her post-Harry Potter career came in 2014, when Emma Watson was appointed as a UN Women Goodwill ambassador. In this role, she launched the HeForShe campaign, a global initiative aimed at engaging men and boys in the fight for gender equality. The campaign challenged traditional stereotypes, encouraging men to take an active role in advocating for women's rights, equal pay, education, and protection against gender-based violence. Emma's speech at the UN went viral, praised for its eloquence, intelligence, and passion. She spoke not only as a celebrity but as a committed activist, urging global leaders and ordinary citizens alike to take tangible action. Emma's activism did not stop at speeches. She became deeply involved in policy discussions, charity initiatives, and education programs, often traveling to schools, universities, and conferences to raise awareness. She collaborated with organizations that focused on girls' education in developing countries, recognizing education as a fundamental tool for empowerment. Emma emphasized the intersectionality of equality, speaking out on issues related to race, class, and opportunity, highlighting that true progress required addressing systemic barriers on multiple levels. Alongside her activism, Emma continued to challenge herself academically and artistically. She pursued higher education, completing her degree in English literature at Oxford University, all while managing film projects, modeling campaigns, and humanitarian work. Her ability to juggle multiple high-pressure responsibilities demonstrated her discipline and dedication to her principles. Emma refused to let fame define her identity. Instead, she used it as a tool to amplify the voices of those often unheard. Throughout her advocacy work, Emma maintained a philosophy rooted in authenticity, empathy, and resilience. She spoke openly about the pressures of growing up in the spotlight and the responsibility that came with global attention. Her candid reflections on mental health, the media's portrayal of women, and societal expectations resonated with millions of young people worldwide. Emma became not just a role model for aspiring actors but a symbol of thoughtful, intelligent, and courageous activism. In addition to her gender equality initiatives, Emma Watson supported environmental sustainability, ethical fashion, and artistic projects that promoted social consciousness. She collaborated with designers and brands committed to fair trade, environmentally friendly production, and the empowerment of marginalized communities. Every project she undertook reflected a deliberate choice to align her professional endeavors with her personal values. Emma Watson's journey from child star to global activist illustrates the power of leveraging influence for meaningful change. She transformed the attention gained from a beloved film series into a platform for advocacy, inspiring millions to question societal norms and fight for equality. Her story is one of resilience, intelligence, and courage, the ability to grow, evolve, and use personal experience to empower others. Today, Emma Watson is celebrated not only for her artistic achievements but for her unwavering commitment to making the world a more just and equal place. From a young girl who loved books and dreamed of acting, to Hermione Granger capturing hearts worldwide, to a determined advocate for women's rights and global change, Emma Watson's life embodies the message that influence carries responsibility and that with courage, dedication, and purpose, one person truly can make a difference. Her legacy is not just in films, awards, or speeches, it is in the inspiration she provides to generations of young people, especially girls, to pursue their passions fearlessly, embrace education, and stand up for what they believe in. Emma Watson's story reminds us that real strength is measured not only by personal success but by the positive impact one leaves on the world.